You know, it's something I just noticed right now. No one switches sides. So once you pick a side, you're committed to it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Get used to it. How do you guys feel about that? No side switching. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know, but I think there's some reason why, and it's part of the rules, I guess, where people would ask to switch sides every once in a while. So being committed to a side, as long as there's table maintenance, how do you guys feel about that?
If you ask about it, you have to change consistently afterwards. So I think it's just annoying for the people to rewrap the bands on the
Or
handles.
also for streaming, broadcasting the name, swapping the name changes, all that
Just
stuff.
too annoying for too little reward.
Can you hear that? The table mics got turned up, or maybe that's just how the Bonzini sounds. It sounds like they're
very clickery.
It sounds like they're shaking a bag of cans.
Yeah. Or like an old flipper.
So I don't know how many changes. If you're a Bonzini French fan, you're probably on the French stream. But if you're familiar with the history of Bonzini, if you have a successful table, how many changes have they made to the Bonzini table over the past however long it's been manufactured? It seems like they've made very few. It seems like the same table they made 20 years ago, same min, same rods. But let us know if there have been a ton of adjustments to the manufacturing.
Same doorknobs.
Same doorknobs, yeah, right. Best business plan ever. They don't sell doorknobs, they don't sell handles.
Yeah, that's quite clever.
It's one-to-one.
Like that badminton wraps who are being bought by football players.
Right, right. So the other semifinals also being played right now.
Oh, that was
it's going to be Stephen Lyle.
Look at that.
The floor was changed in the last 2. So we got a 2-1 lead. This is treacherous. We've talked about this. If you lose your game on your home table, you're in big trouble. And Miguel wants to hold service on his table. But Kevin HUNDSTORFER is a super talent. I'm familiar with the name.
Tell me about it. What did you hear from him?
Well, we did a we actually streamed one of the first European tournaments we streamed was with Kevin, and he just a super talented player with plenty of winning experience.
Champion of Austria, and Miguel is the champion of France. So we've got a little clash of champions right now.
That was a beauty. Watch this angle shot. That's a sweet shot. Bonzini has very few design changes since the 1960 model. They changed the ball. Just it used to be a cork ball. The men's feet are sanded. Is a difference? Great. I don't get out of the house much. If you're asking me how I don't know Miguel, I don't get out of the house. This is the first time. This is the first time I've seen the sun. It's so strange.
Yeah,
Kevin won a World Cup singles final against Benty back in the day.
You're just hiding like a vampire. Don't see the sun.
Worse. A werewolf vampire. Wow, HUNDSTORFER putting stuff on goal, just attacking. And Miguel needs to close out some points here. He's going to lose this game quickly. Goes push side, and Kevin's all over it.
Oh, that's one sweet wall shot.
And it's a 4-1 lead. When we have seen the person lose their first game on their home table, it has not gone well the rest of the match. And the hand speed, you see the quickness from rod to rod and immediately recovering.
Wow, that's real fast. And Miguel right now has so much work to do to catch up to that lead of Kevin.
Wow, you could see that the skill level is very, very impressive. This kind of, though, reminds me of the first game between Heinrich and Druce, where Kevin was just quicker rod to rod. He goes for, I think that he meant that little soft shot, and the near side bank coming out fast and furious. The near wall bank shot, and Kevin has the tempo.
I'm quite impressed right now.
Right.
So let's look what Miguel has up his sleeve now.
They're saying there's won everything on Garlando. Kevin HUNDSTORFER has.
So that's quite a thing to beat for
Pretty
Miguel.
dominant.
Good defending from Miguel, but didn't manage it. But he doesn't manage to get that pass through.
I think this is your first time at a World Cup in a major tournament.
Yes, it is.
And I've never been to an international tournament either. So for those of you that really know these players, you could help illuminate by giving us your information in what you know about them. Is he actually the 10-time world champion in Garlando, though? Has he won 10 world champion series in Garlando? And who this guy is Memo Stream ZZ, whatever your name is. You think Miguel, you think Bonzini, you think Garlando, you think Kevin. I do now because I'm seeing them play live for the first time. And great defense by Kevin.
And a great offense too.
But it doesn't matter where you're from. The fundamentals of foosball remain the same. Are you clearing the ball from your defensive 2-bar? What's your 5-bar passing efficiency? Are you controlling the tempo of the match? He shoots a 5-bar, goes backward, and scores on himself.
Yes, sir, Duffy, that would be nice for some cool, interesting stats. But please don't put it in caps. So Kevin with a shooting opportunity.
Great block.
Good save.
It was a 3-man defense. He pulled the inside man in to block the push side. Wow.
Really nice shot again.
It was
Far
snappy.
side.
And now to the 3-1 lead. And he may hold service and go back to Bonzini and have a chance to put this away. You know what I seen him do, though? That I think I might have played foosball one time with a Red Bull in me, and it was way too much. One Red Bull for me is way too much adrenaline. Well, a quick
So
pickup.
we're just shaking.
Yeah, it's just, I don't need that kind of caffeine. I think we got Sully playing right now. Sullivan Ruse playing.
Against Cinderella.
And a timeout. Shot the split in and out, and 4-2 lead for Kevin.
Here, nice replay. Yes, went in and then just got out afterwards. Oh yes, Lebato Twitch has an interesting question to the Golando players. It seems that we have rubber bumpers here on that Golando table. Can you help out and tell Lebato Twitch if that makes a difference to the original type of table? Let's look if Kevin can decide match 2 for himself. Oh, no, it doesn't look like that. Good save by Miguel.
These guys remind me of Disney characters. I'm trying to figure out which one. We get back to the Disney references, of which you have no point of reference.
I'll just hijack the German.
They do have a
when you start.
Disneyland. They have a Disneyland in Paris somewhere, right? Is it Disneyland Paris,
Yeah,
you guys?
Disneyland Paris.
Have you been to the Disneyland in Paris?
I was at the Legoland.
Legoland. These guys are definitely scrappy. They're fast rod to rod, and Miguel is on the tall side, so he reaches over and grabs those rods very, very quickly. He's getting out hustled by Kevin.
And
He's able to tighten it up a little bit here to get to 4-3.
It's getting really tight now. Didn't expect that after the first 3 goals of Kevin.
But if Kevin is a 10-time champion on Garlando, then he understands closing, and closing is the difference between pros and champions and masters. Closing matches at 4-4 is the difference.
But he doesn't look. Doesn't look like that he can get a grasp now on the defense of Miguel. So play is going back again with Kevin in possession now in a defensive line. Do you think he's going to shoot? Yes.
Yeah, I think he's going to shoot. My guess is going to shoot.
But look at
It
that.
was a nice long pull shot, and he holds service. So now Miguel has a big mountain to climb. He's got to, of course, it goes without saying, he's got to win on his home table, but he's got to steal one back on Garlando. Kevin is now, if he wasn't the favorite before, he's the heavy favorite now. But I think that Miguel wins this game and loses to Kevin on Garlando in 4 games.
Yeah, that's possible. That makes sense. But look at that sweet pass.
He may
here.
not even get this game. If Kevin now plays him rod to rod like that, he's going to lose right here in 3 games.
Gets it returned to him. Bit luck.
And he crushes that ball. He has a really compact stroke. I like his stroke. He gets a lot of compression. He gets behind the ball really well, and there's not a lot of wasted motion. His pull shot is really nice. I've seen that angle pass on Bonzini. I've also seen people block that angle pass with their man against the wall, tipped back. So not unlike Tornado, you could get both the wall pass and the angle chip pass with your man against the wall if you anticipated correctly. I remember that now, AJ.
Yeah, and Miguel levels the score.
And I've also heard that too about comparing Kevin to Billy Pappas. I remember that as well.
And he was also world champion when he was 18. And a nice
rebounded
save
and picked up by Kevin. Maybe Kevin wants to win it for the 2nd time. Oh, he went for that sneaky little angle shot. This has got to be the noisiest table, though. I swear, this table sounds like someone's dragging a garbage bag full of tin cans down the street. And that's not a bad thing. It's just noisy.
But it just built in the microphone somewhere beneath the table. Just hit it somewhere there.
Yeah, and Miguel with a 2-1 lead.
Nice ball. Wow.
What a beauty.
See it. Oh, that's just really craftsmanship.
Gee. Beauty. Yeah, he hit that ball really well. He tucks that split. It was nice.
Okay, Norse. Seems like you're not such a big fan of that table. Like a cheap toy.
I've been playing on Bonzini for many, many years. Well, you know, I ask a question because from a business perspective, if you create a table, you don't have to change much. Anything you do change could be for economic purposes. For example, changing the ball is a whole other vertical of revenue. But if you don't have to change anything really big, because people have been happy with your table for 40 years, your margins are good because you never had to make manufacturing differences. But anyway, Miguel up now, 4-2.
Yes, so
this is not the
possibility stands.
Huh?
The possibility stands.
Yeah, I thought that he would 60 years, amazing.
60, wow.
Crushes that ball.
Nice pull shot.
Beautiful swing, yeah. He's got a beautiful.
What a way to end that set.
Yeah, anticlimactic, but that's not the money game. This is the money game. Right. An ethical business strategy. You know, that could be true. That could be true, but often it could just be a good business not to improve things, because like I said earlier, if you don't have to change manufacturing for 60 years, that's a lot of margin. You don't have to do any R&D for 60 years. Good Lord, what do you spend your money on?
Oh, that's broken again. Oh, yes.
Sorry about that, guys. We had to get it back.
So, we're back.
Miguel with the possession against Kevin. He's got to make this possession work.
So what did I miss with my technical hand craftsmanship?
You're a stud. You're like MacGyver. Do you know? Have you heard of MacGyver? Yeah, I think that if Kevin is the closer, the blood in the water shark, as he's described in chat, then Miguel cannot afford to get behind. Luke's a beginner from Florida.
Oh, and that's
And Kevin
quick
with a
1-0.
beautiful shot to go up 1-0. Miguel giving the ball back up to Kevin.
A nice interception. Great defensive work from Kevin here.
Yep. Miguel has his work cut out for him. Boy, it would be exciting to see a fifth game, though. Wouldn't it be great to see a
it would
fifth game?
You can imagine the pressure on them then. And also that's a match then. Match 5 would be everything's possible.
He just crushes the ball. He hits it with such velocity and technique. It is like he's been playing foosball his entire life. And Miguel not going away, though. Miguel's not going away. He needed that one really badly, and that was a beautiful zone
goal.
breaker that went across the entire field and angled into the deep side.
Yep. Took the out of the post there. Really accurate.
Wow. That puts a lot of pressure on an opposing player, though. Hard shots repetitively on goal. Yeah, your zone blocks them, but you always feel the pressure of the execution.
Tries it with the wall. Doesn't work that way. So Kevin gets back into possession. Now the chance for Miguel to take the lead here on the Galano.
Oh, and he
does
needed that. Miguel needs that. He's got the advantage right now, and he needs to hold on to it desperately, because you get the feeling at any moment Kevin could go on a 2-0, 3-0 run. You get the feeling that at any second he's just going to throw 2 or 3 points and he'll have the lead again.
Wow.
A really definitive hard split.
And it's level again.
Yep. He goes for the Bonzini angle up, quick 5-bar shot, and fortunate to pick the ball up on his 3-bar. Oh, he shot a split of his own.
Cheesy.
We might get lucky here. We might get very, very lucky here. I'm still thinking Kevin is going to pull this out, but we might get very lucky and watch a fifth game.
Oh, Mark, is that true? Foosrat is writing that the tornado rods used to be banned really easily.
Yeah, but tornadoes, all kinds of stuff goes wrong with tornado, Foosrat, and people used to think that it was always these nefarious decisions to make more money, but the reality was the manufacturing, the vendors would change, some tolerance would change by 1 micrometer, and then everything is different, and people would get so angry, and it was never, ever by design. It was just kind of like a not consistent manufacturing process and having some of the vendors changing something. The balls used to change, and we found out something from Dave Currington that the guy who made the balls used to pour some red cup of something, and if he one time he won an extra cup of red stuff and it destroyed the balls. They changed for like 3,000 balls were the wrong texture. So,
Oh,
yeah.
so they sold that balls, or do they just,
Yeah, they sold those balls. Of
wow.
course they did, and we used them, and they were horrible. But back to focusing on this, Miguel with this fragile 3-2 lead, and Kevin hammering pull shots on goal. Fortunate to pick one up on his 5-bar, and if he converts here, the pressure's back on Miguel.
Yeah, pressure rising right now. Good
He
save
went
by
push
Miguel
side.
here.
Yep.
But Kevin remains in possession now.
Wow, really nice, sharp pull side effort, pulling the ball toward him and hitting that rollover. Now 3-3.
So that's quite a score now. Because it just could easily shift in either way now.
Yeah, I think if this was Bonzini, Miguel is a favorite at 3-3. I think it's there's no thinking. It's Garlando. Kevin's the favorite. Wow, fortunate
nice.
pickup.
I think that was intended.
There it is. He hits that split. And now it is match point for Kevin HUNDSTORFER.
Nice, we've got 235 viewers now. So
This is a hot match.
yeah,
And
numbers
these
rising.
are the best players from their respective countries, I'm hearing. And we have a French channel and a German channel, and you'll get French dudes.
Yeah, and that's easy. And if you want to hear in German, just click on the German flag.
Kevin almost scored on himself. And that's it.
And that's game.
That's it. Incredible match, just like that. And true to form, if you lose that first game on your home table, you have an uphill climb, and it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Not
and
many
we saw
people.
how tough it can be.
Yeah, not many people are recovering from that. We should mention some of our sponsors: foosgadgets.com, the foosgadgets.com, the Stark Industries of foosball innovation and engineering. We got Leonhardt. We have ComKicker, the Let's Foos app, and then we have ING Bank.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it right?
Yeah,
and so
all right.
something else too. There's another one, right?
Kickerfabrik Köln
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, you're seeing some of them slide across there. Now they're checking off the marks there. I think we're going to have